Hey guys, Photoshop Pro Help here, and in today's tutorial I'm going to be showing you the awesome cross-processing image effect. Now this effect is fairly straightforward, but it does take a lot of tampering, so I will say you might have to have a bit of time on your hands to get used to this effect. So if we look at our image, this is the effect that we are after. Now you might be wondering what a cross-processed effect is. Now what that is the shadows have a slightly blue tinge to them and the whole image has a yellow hue. Now photographers came up with this effect, and how they did that was they processed their images with the wrong chemicals, giving it this sort of feel. So we're after a sort of retro vintage effect. So this effect can be applied to many different images, so not just this sort of image. So let's go and have a look at a few examples. So this is an original image, and then we're going to go and apply our cross-processed image effect to it. So we're going to go for something like this, and this really brings out the colour and it brings it to a very light feeling, so a lovely vintage effect. And then we're going to go over to a portrait, so something like this. This is an original image, and then we're going to apply our effect, and we have a lovely warm glow vintage effect onto this image. So it really does work well with all ranges of images. So we're going to go into our image we're going to be playing around with. So I'm going to take off the effect. So this is the original, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go and play around with the adjustment layers. So bottom right hand side, you see a little circle that's black and white, click that, and we're going to go play around with the curves. So with the curves we have RGB on our top bit here, and we're just going to go down to the drop down menu and we're going to go and click blue. Now with this we're going to go and play around with the bottom bit of the graph, and we're going to go and bring that bottom bit up to the top to around about there. Now what this does is it brings the blue into the shadows, so we're going to have something around about there. Now these graphs here are going to be as guidelines, so I will say do not follow the exact same guidelines as I'm going to give you, because each image is totally different and it will take a lot of playing around to get the right effect for your photo. So I'm going to give you a few hints and tips, and as I said, a few guidelines, but you will have to play around with this. Now the next bit we're going to go and grab the middle, and we're just going to go bring it down to around about there, and we're going to go grab the top and we're going to go bring that down to something about there. Now what this does is it brings the blue into the shadows, as I said, and it's going to bring the yellows into it. So the next colour is red, so we're going to go select that in the drop down menu, and for our red we're going to go bring the bottom of the graph inwards to around about there. We're going to go grab the middle, bring it to about there, and the top bit we're going to bring down to about there. And you might want to pause the video just to have a look at the guidelines, and then you can really go on now. Now the next colour is green, but I will say with this, in the other two pictures that I showed you, I never used the green curves, so it really depends on your image. So play around with it and you can easily just take it off if you don't want it. So we're going to go to green, and with the green we're just going to bring it up to there, and we're going to bring it down to about there for the green, and pause the video, as I said, have a look. And if you really don't want the green, you can just drag the points off the page and it will unclip them. And these are all adjustment layers, so you can just go back to them and tweak them however you want and really get your picture to what you want it to look like. So we're just going to go and hide that now, and we're going to go and add a few solid layers. So bottom right hand side we're going to go to the adjustment layers again, go to solid colour, and this is the colour that we are going to go with, is a pink feeling. So the code for this one is going to be E57283, and we're going to go and click OK. Now we want to change the blend mode of this layer to soft light, so go down to soft light, and we're going to bring this to around about 22 to 30%, just so it is in there, but you don't want it to overpower the image. As I said, play around with the opacity depending on the type of image that you're going to use. So we just want it to warm up the image. We're going to go and add another solid layer, so bottom right hand side, adjustment layer, solid color, and the color for this one is we're going to go for a peach sort of feel, and this is going to be F4D084, and then click OK. Now we're going to go and change the blending mode to this, and that's going to be screen, and we're going to bring the opacity down to 25% for this, should be okay. And we're just going to go and group those now, so we're going to go and select all three of them layers, so hold down Control on your keyboard or Command if you have a Mac, go and select them all, and then press Control and G or Command and G if you have a Mac, and that groups them together. Now we're going to go and add another adjustment layer, bottom right hand side, and go and click Curves. Now we're not going to go and change from RGB to any other colour, we're going to stick with RGB, and we're going to go and make this darker and lighter. So for the bottom we're going to go and drag this bit in, so as you can see it's getting darker, so around about there. And for the top bit we're just going to bring this to light, about there. So as I said, play around with it like that. So we have just enough there, like that. Let's just bring that back, hang on a minute, there we go. And we're just going to go and hide that. And we're going to go and bring the group down to around about 44%. There we go. And that's basically it. That's all you need to know. That is the cross-processing effect for your images. As I said, play around with them, try and get them to this sort of standard. So if I just take off the effect, this is what we had originally, and then we applied the effect and it's brought the blue tinges through the shadows, and it has a slightly yellow feel to it. So you can really ramp up the colours in this just by changing some of the settings, and you can go back in the group and change any of the settings, any of the colours that you want, as they are all adjustment layers. So go and have a lot of fun with this, go and apply more effects onto it. If you need any help, just contact me and I'll try and help as best as I can. So please comment, rate and subscribe. Go check out the website, guys, and I'll see you in the next tutorial, guys. Bye for now.